All right, here we go again. Buckle up, rough roads ahead. We'll try to make these rough roads a little smoother. I got to fix my mount here. It's too tight. It's slipping out of the thing there. Let me make the appropriate little tightness. All right. So, update. The Lord blessed last night. I was able to find the trigger for that left back pain, the pumps of the back. It was a tight muscle in the neck. Mm. All of this was most likely healable 4 years ago. So, what the doctors aren't understanding is that I'm experiencing larger pain than the given ailment. That's what they were never understanding. There was something else. I do believe something was wrong with that first epidural. I couldn't get anywhere for 4 years. If I'd have got to massage therapy, somebody would have figured it out, most likely. And there was a psyop to kill that. So uh, I have a lot more to go. I have an epidural today, and I have a lot more neck massages to do. Now, that was a problem with the sinuses. They were all compressed from all that muscle tension. It is scary because, I move my neck around. I don't see a trigger, just a tight muscle. But the tension and all that and the harassment, that's what that does. So over time, with this epidural and some massages, I hope to get to the point that I could function without extreme pain. Like that's why I could make decisions. Right. Thank you, Larry. I slept pretty good last night. The hope is eventually that I can sleep on my back, but I don't know. No, my back's pretty well released right now. I woke up, the right side was tight. I slept on my right side. The right side still, I think, has a neck trigger. Once that muscle is worked. And I still couldn't get to the woman for the next massage. It's like now my left leg, if my right side is tightening up a little bit. So the answer was just to leave me a massage and let me have a normal life in Santa Fe. And I would have continued on taking care of the people in that community. Now, maybe you say, well, you shouldn't have took on that meth dealer. Well, I'll tell you what. If he wasn't dealing meth and he was still just a neighbor, we would have got him out of there. His people were coming in, breaking into our cars, broke a window in my Mini, broke into other cars and vehicles, stole stuff, and they also were breaking the locks on the doors because there was no way for. I guess I don't understand it because I guess they could. I would think they could call him on the phone unless they don't have phones because they're sold it for meth, right, or fentanyl, whatever. But they would break the lock mechanism on our door, our external door. Now, one thing I do notice is my left leg has a little bit more tension, a little more power, less inflammation, and my back is released. So I knew something was cutting off. I thought something in the upper back was cutting off that power to the lower extremity. And it was that back cramp. Mm. There's a lot to heal, a lot to see. I probably still need some sort of surgery. I wish I could have got to this point. I mean, I would have loved to have stayed in Texas and made it go. I mean, I'm not out of the woods yet, but right. So most doctors don't realize that their patient is in that condition because patients come in with this problem, but they don't have all the other problems. Right. Like I said, the key is that they knew whatever was going on in my body in my life. If I had gotten a Rothman within, the 2 months of surgery, rehab, or 3 months, it would have been ironed out because they would have kept sending in their people. And they even said we would have, if you told us massage helped you, we would have prescribed massage and got them in there into the rehab facility. It would have been no problem. That's what the spirit says. And maybe Mr. Rothman. Thank you. Thank you. Now I'm letting the spirit open up a little bit more. Before it was kind of just weirdness. A beautiful day. I'm very calm early in the morning here. Something I haven't enjoyed for quite some time. Again, I can't tell you how cramped up my back was or wasn't, 6 months ago. I can't tell you that. I know it wasn't this, right? And my legs are actually released and everything too. But my left side is a lot. But see, again, even in like on the upper part, the left side is looser than the right. So what I need to do is actually release that right some more because it's still a little tense. And then I got magnesium all in my system all over the place. So it can't be right. Once I release that, my left side might tense up mild, which is where it was when I woke up. Which means, a little more firmer so it can control the. Got the landscapers at her already. It's all warm and shit. I don't mean to say shit. They put that in my words. Trying to get hopefully get my preacher language back. Spiritual things that cause the physical things. And landscapers look like they're. Gosh, it's beautiful out here. I wish they'd been forced out. Well, I think it's going to be different once I release the right side a little bit more, and then I think the left side will firm up a little, so I'll have a little closer bilateral movement. Again, when you stress me out, it tightens me up additionally, and you all know that. You're all very sick people. God will have to judge it. And many of you will probably end in hell. Now this over here is looking good. This is going to seed on its own. I think I got a ton of seed in here. I don't think it's all dead. This area over here, hopefully it'll grow some grass once it warms up here. It's like one spot that's really, really sparse. It just kind of gets muddy, but I think that should seed. Looked like there was some fungus that just attacked that particular seed. It's not as hardy as what is here. I should have bought I think it's called Bermuda grass or something. That's a little hardier. Well, my legs are a little bit shaky, but They're just getting released from a lot of tension over a lot of years. I just can't believe that they were allowed to be this thing. There's a little bit of inflammation still in that muscle. I can feel it, but I'm believing that it should heal. Hopefully, it's not a disc problem in the neck. They just need to be away from me, and I need to have a peaceful life. I mean, obviously, if they hadn't have done what they did, I'd have stayed in massage, and this never would have been possible. I mean, I still may have needed surgery at some point in my life, but it would have been a controlled environment. Right? Now, there's definitely a stiffness in the right side that probably needs to go. And then when it's said and done, we got to do the we got to do the EMGs, but we also have to do the MRIs, and then we can see what we did. I mean, at this point, even if it's a 2-level fusion, I can deal with it. Decreases. And next, I mean, I went to several massage therapists, and then eventually I couldn't get back to them. I kept willing me down, and all that. In Oklahoma, if I could have did that, I'm sure those people could have worked. I think they're some of the better ones because you're paying a little bit more money, and it's some guy's company. He's not, it's a, generally you're dealing with medical. I think it'd be the more intelligent massage therapist. Eat the $50 more for an hour. No, that excruciating pain in the back is definitely handled. No, it was a spirit. That's all I can say. It was a spirit. It may have been the spirit of God. Well, there, God, says things, and it's a matter of perspective and perception. But you can't have your own perspective and your own perception. God has to show you. So God says to me, God, the infers, should I say, I hear your cries. I will hear you. One of the topics over the years has been that God doesn't hear us. And scripture speaks about that. A lot of times the church and all the religions say, well, it's because we're doing something wrong. Well, yeah, as a collective, the planet is not allowing God's voice onto the planet and not allowing our voice to God. Like God may have just heard me like a month and a half ago. I brought this up before when I woke up, this kind of thing. So the scripture doesn't actually mean what we think it means. Right, if I had a weak leg with no serious pain and inflammation, then, I still would get the surgery, but it'd be a whole different world. And the, amount of inflammation and pain right now is minimal compared to what it was. So also the nerve system is probably now sending messages to heal. But I still think the right side is too tense. So which would level off my hips a little bit better. But again, it's been 4 years. I can't believe it was 4 years. sure wish I could have found. I still having trouble getting to massage. I should have had somebody massage my neck. I was planning on it, but they kind of blocked it. I do thank Walmart for what happens is when you now I'm part of the Plus Club now and all that. Man, I was before when it started, I guess, during the pandemic. But one of the problems is when you order, sometimes these apps freeze and you can't message the person. Or you buy it and you're like, because the store, but at a certain point, I got the blip like return, and I returned it in the app, and they're like, okay, don't worry about returning it, refund, boom. So again, they're erring on the side of caution. Walmart, I think, is at least at this point, is trying to do the right thing for people, knowing that they don't have money. But again, they have, Walmart has vast wealth and riches. A lot of people will tell you that they're buying power, that wealth, that riches. Well, I think the secret to government is investing government funds. I'm not sure. Uh, I mean, the legality is it's legal. You can't say it's not legal. If you invest government funds on behalf of the citizenry and are not corrupt, it's absolutely legal. And I don't know what that does for the economy. I mean, that's a large investment. Creature. I'm not 100%, and I have been walking a lot, so there's a lot of inflammation from just not being able to rest. I don't want to lay in bed all day. I definitely don't want to do that, but I need to do more resting if I can. If I can get into a chair scenario and be comfortable, I would appreciate it. Nah, I may not have even needed surgery 4 years ago at this point, but again, I think it was a last ditch effort to get me somewhere with competent care. No, St. Luke's is competent. No, if I could have controlled this, I'm glad I'm getting the epidural today. But if I couldn't control this back pump, I would have definitely, or if I could control this back pump, I may have actually waited, to the regular date of this procedure. Again, he's dealing with people with just standard problems. Right? This was a complicated issue. But again, I should wait till I get some steroid treatment before I probably return to massage. It'll take a few days for this to start circulating and really. Like I say, God bless God. So we're right. We're kind of in an encapsulated life here, and if we can't get out to God, and you notice the Pope had it a little easier too, right? Well, God said it's like the movie Pitch Black. But sometimes that communication just doesn't get through, one way or the other. Years ago, when I woke up. So again, the church needed me. Now the church is sitting back, and Trump is a hope, but you have to get him to. He needs redemption. He just needs to wake up and get out of the. He was put into it. I was put into it. We're all put into it. Right. We're all put into this battle. And maybe we needed to do it. There may have been no other way to do it. Right. No, at this point, you just need to chill out. I mean, Elon needs to chill out. I mean, he's like, because he's lacking a certain side of the knowledge of how government runs. He's kind of out there, and what he's doing, he's revealing what happened when, you sons of guns. Yeah, they just cursed my breakfast. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of inflammation, so I don't know where this is going to end as far as inflammation, because it has to relax and maybe heal a little bit, and it may, give you some. Well, my right leg doesn't have that cramp as much in it right now, but it could have been that whole neck thing. Ugh. It was, 'cause I felt like it was taking my spine out of line, but they said it didn't happen, but it may have been enough to. Right. Well, it's a little bit fantastical, illusory. I mean, he's believing in AI, but again, he himself, speaks about the limitations of AI. So he's finally somewhere he wanted to be, and he's really hyped up for it. But I think maybe he needs to be a little more grounded. And again, I'm not the only one that says that. There's senators that have said that. What's going on the right side, I can see a little better now because the left side showed out, and it's kind of what was going on the left, but not bad. Now, well, because I don't think AI can do what he says it can do, or what he believes it can do. In that particular instance, it doesn't have enough information. Right. And again, if I bullshit you, and because I did an what do you call it, SF 171 or whatever is it, the application for government. The trick is, not to lie, but to dress it up so that they hire you. So if I was his government, I'd keep my job 1%, and I know what to do. It's the same thing as what I did on my application, right? And it would probably find me, keepable anyway. I'm busting my ass all day. Wow. Guys, you see, but here's an example. And Trump's totally off on it. Elon's totally off on it. If I were in the office, 10 hours this week, but out in the field, 70. With somebody that sat in the office for 40 hours eating popcorn and surfing the net be more valuable than I am. Well, let's say I spent 20 hours in my house, but like 70 hours on the street. were in the field doing actual work. But yet somebody else spent 40 hours in the office eating popcorn and watching reruns of their favorite Netflix. Right. No, I would have been healed 7 years ago too, but 4 years ago if I could have figured this out. My head's back. Good morning. How are you again? I just love this weather. Yeah, that one. So it still rains true. We need to make sure that everybody has access to massage. I'm telling you, insurance companies, it's the key to you saving money. 10 massages a year, at least 10 massages a year, and people will be healthier, especially if you start them young. The insurance companies will pay out a lot less money if you get them to massage. It's one of the keys, I'm telling you. You keep that neurology flowing, and people stay healthier. I've been harping on that for about 10 years now, or more, actually. I tried. I was trying to break when I was, you know, when I tried to think about it, I would it is. No, I didn't need much medicine. I guess that's what they were saying, huh? I needed, I needed a massage, like I was trying to get to, and I told you. They said, "Well, hey, trying to rape everyone." So what might actually happen is once I reduce the magnesium almost normal, but still, left leg needs to probably be addressed. There's this dude. No, it's obvious for the massage. Oh wait, I upped my Wi-Fi. No, I'm like my temperature sensor. Like I'm out here and it's like 40 degrees, but I feel fine. Yeah, I was like freezing for a couple of days, and I turned it up to 76 when I slept, and I was fine. I mean, I don't know how much health was left in me, but boy, my head is normal again. I pray to God so many times to get that head back. I need a massage, like I told you. You start.
Yeah.
I got one of them little boxes. I was just making sure.
Oh, no, you got it. Thank you, sir.
Right.
No, I'll get the key.
Little jump boxes. Right. Whew. That was one crazy ride. I was jammed up for 4 years, too tight. Finally got that muscle massage myself. God sent the message in my head. My finger goes to the muscle. I hit it, and it loosens. And then the pumps go away. But I got to get a little bit of time because that left leg might pick up, with some healing. I don't know. Now, they weren't supposed to be able to do this to me. Not one eye. Now, if they just stopped, I'd have been able to get the massage. Correct. And then I would have had somebody come in the house. They'd probably, I'd have brought them in a few times, and that would have been it. My body would have started healing. Something they didn't want, you see? Again, their will against God's will. There's no doubt that God's trying to heal me. And I don't expect anything. I don't require God to do anything, even if message is received. So again, let's go back to COVID. Long COVID. Try massages and muscle relaxers. I can smell like twice as much as yesterday. My sniffer's working better. Now, I told my brother, you've been laid up. Be careful, because he's got like a sinus infection now. He's going through the same thing I went through, but like a little less, of course, because he's healthy. No, I was pretty healthy 4 years ago. So none of those massage therapists I went to probably hit the neck right. So again, that's another thing that needs to be focused on. Remind massage therapists, because you're trying to armbar a back that would have released if you massaged the neck right. See? So they're actually tugging against the law of massage nature. So they have to focus on the trigger point. I knew she was missing the mark. I was just too much pain. She kept armbarring my back, and my legs would scream. So I need a trigger point. But again, everybody was focusing on that back. I was probably pulling my vertebrae off to a side, which I thought is what it was doing, because it just hit my head. But it's not like when you look on MRI, it doesn't show that it's out of line, but it's out of line enough to do that. I just have no idea where my legs are going to end up here. No, it's scary, because I was, I got in a massage and I got healthy, and I went to the doctor and for something, and it was actually a back, something in my back. They thought it was like a urinary tract, but I was walking along to get the prescription. I think I took an Uber there, right? And I was walking like so easy, peaceful feeling, and my blood pressure was back to normal and everything. If COVID didn't hit, this wouldn't have happened this bad. I think there was already, atrophy and stuff in that lower left, but not like this. Now, the problem is the right side's still, I think, over-energized. There's still inflammation in that right side, just causing it to tighten up and puff up and swell. So once that releases, this is actually verifying every thought I had as to what was happening in my body was true. I just couldn't get to the other side of it. Right. So today I have a procedure, and God bless them for moving that procedure up. God bless God for making it a little more comfortable today. Yeah, I don't think I'm capable of massaging this right side of the neck to the level that I need to. But I was trying to get to this woman for a neck massage, and I still couldn't, because they're willing against it. I just can't get to the point of going there. And as late as yesterday. Even canceled my membership to that place, because that's their will. Again, this exists. Well, I think Trump and Elon are out there in a fantastical world a bit. where the rubber meets the road, the data that Elon's putting in, it's just not a criteria. Right. Well, what if I put in there, I saved the president from being killed? I protected the president. I mean, I do that actually, but I told you I can't say anything to harm anybody. So if I say it, it ain't gonna work anyway. But I see what comes back at me. Well, because if they, they have out there, like I told you, the radicalization machines. Again, some Satan stance, some Zen, right? And that radicalization machine will sometimes respond to what you say online to try to radicalize you. If some people believe it's just some of it is default algorithm, but I don't believe it's all. It's not all default algorithm. Hmm. No, I tell you all the time what I'm doing. I just can't tell you what I'm doing, or it doesn't work, right? Sometimes I'll tell you just to show you what to do. I'll let it go like a half hour or a couple hours. Right. It's like I'm out here looking to see if I see anything. I've been doing things over the last week or two to trigger some things, if it did exist. Right. We're getting ready to cut the grass already. Oh no, I was miserable. I was in pain, but I needed to tell you how I felt. I mean, I really did. I think some of that may have actually changed the mechanics of as to whether God's voice gets through. Well, the left leg is has a lot less inflammation. It's weak, but it doesn't have the inflammation as much. The right side still has the inflammation, but I could feel that it needs to be relaxed. Now, I don't know if that right side relaxes, whether I lose everything. Right, my legs just go boop. I lose about an inch of height. No, I mean, if I was here 4 years ago, it'd have been right to Philadelphia. Right. And maybe not. Maybe it would have healed enough. I wasn't healed like this. No. That just shows you. And again, I couldn't get to, because they kept what happens is corrupt police officers had more weight than they do right now. So they kept putting them in. And, again, FBI doesn't operate alone. Right. That's a scam. If you just focus on one thing. No, I turned the the dehumidifier on like I used to, and I turned the heater on. It got real warm in here, and I could breathe, and I wasn't sick when I woke up. Right. I mean, I'm generally running air purifiers. It didn't make sense to me that even if there was a presence of an allergen, how much it would affect me. Right. No, they weren't supposed to have access to my life. If I had received those massages like I had planned for life, everybody would have been happy, including me. Just never would have happened. Never would have catastrophic breakdown. I mean, I probably still hadn't healed to the level I could have healed to. Okay.
when I stopped going to massages in Santa Fe, New Mexico, I probably still hadn't healed to the level I could heal. It probably would have took another 6 months of massages. I mean, you're all messing with, because I even told you, I said, God healed me. God showed me how to do this. And you're all just were okay with messing with that, right? I still have some congestion, but it seems like there's a way for the drainage and all of that right now. Right, there's inflammation in the right side, so I believe it. There's a weakness in the left side, but it's not inflamed like it was. Right, so yeah, I can feel where it's inflamed and everything. It's kind of similar to the other one, and hopefully the neck is, and then once I get to steroid, I'll get back into massage, and they should be able to get me somewhere where I can be a little more peaceful. No, this is uncalled for. I mean, it's disgusting. It's piggish. Legion of Demon, piggish. If you haven't picked up on that. Thank you, Lever. Well, the church right now is reeling because they had supported. So, okay, let me go to this. There's a falling away. And then there's a return of certain members of the church. But it doesn't mean that it's the absolute end times. These are patterns. But let's say, well, does that mean that we don't support Donald Trump? No, Donald Trump can come back anytime he wants also. Now, my right side is like over energized. And I knew that the whole time. I just couldn't figure anything out. And again, I couldn't get my brain to it at a certain point to even go get a massage or even let somebody in my apartment as much as I wanted to. Right, it could be pulling on the nerve roots. That's what, like I told you, there was a doctor from India. And he was one of those doctors that goes around a hospital and treats whatever the patient says is going on. Just like a general practitioner, a family doctor, like you would call up while you're impatient. And he told me, he said, it's partly pulling on the nerve roots. You got to stop that cramping, back and forth. Mm-hmm. And that was like 4 years ago. I mean, I was waiting on the Lord to heal me because the Lord had never failed me before. But I guess evil hadn't been that hard. Yeah. If I tell you to do something spiritually, it's bound by my rules, but God's rules in my life. All right, maybe a parameter. Like, if you must, I already invoked that. I told that for years. A lot of times you'll hear me do testing the audio, even though I am testing the audio. There's times I test the audio and don't say test, test, test. Right. That was my hidden sign to the agents. Thank you, Larry. Ugh. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of walking, so over time I might be able to rest and heal. That right side is definitely firing up, but that could be actually from the neck muscle or something like that, or even any other muscle. Now, they weren't supposed to do this to me. Not at all. Dan Bongino says, we wear different hats in life. I could just... What Dan's saying is he can flip it on and flip it off, which I believe a lot of us have been doing over the last so many years. Right. Now, hopefully he's real. Now, I still look semi-healthy like Dan Bongino. He killed me. Right. Eating a healthy breakfast here. Non-soy plant-based sausage. Well, theoretically, if I massage the right side relaxes, I could theoretically maybe have a little weaker legs, but no shoot. But then again, not. The Lord has helped me enough that the Lord has proven his existence again. Her existence, if you believe her. Right. Well, I haven't had steroid treatment in 4 years. So anything's kind of possible. Well, it's sad that this had to happen to my wife. It was always within your control of you before catastrophic loss that it was controlled and that they weren't allowed to do what they were doing. There's even evidence that my neck wasn't appropriately massaged and I wasn't appropriately massaged out, even as far back as the successes at Massage Envy. But I believe that the ones in Arizona may have hit it right. Got no idea what they thought they were doing. No idea. All they had to do was be forced to stay away from me. That's it. My life would have took on a normal course. But yet they're paying, that's what they're getting paid to do, is to cause the abnormal course. So that the next group can come in and make their money pointing to the abnormal course. So I ate like a gallon of ice cream last night. Crazy world. But, that was the instruction. If something's wrong with your stomach, the ice cream over an extended period of time should cool it. Well, if I relax all that muscle and it heals, the possibility is then it firms up and takes a certain form. So my legs could end up being stronger. Like I said, I had this thought before that something else is going on. These doctors don't understand the level of pain that I'm experiencing. Because somebody comes in with a sciatic nerve thing and it's not it's not what I'm dealing with. It's something much bigger. So this doctor is now going to get the information. When they come in, podiatrist, massage, including neck. Thank you, Larry. You have to. And he's a real guy. So I don't know if he can prescribe that, but he could suggest it, I guess. I just have to get it approved. Right. When somebody comes in for pain management, especially if they're younger or healthy appearing, right. I'm trying to use these other shoes and see what happens. These are the computer generated shoes, but it feels like to me that the arch has to be a tad higher. But it feels like my foot wants to go in on that section. Right. It could be the shoe I'm wearing or something too. So these are those same shoes the doctor told me to get rid of. All right, so let me see here. Are these? Oh, pretty good there. But it's doing something in my neck. I can feel it. There's a muscle there. It's tightening up. On the right, see, my left side of my neck is soft. The right side's harder. So it's going to take some time to get that worked out. I think she worked it out last time. No, it totally changed my ability to think through things. No, I feel more confident with the doctors and all that now. Again, this could have been something that was wrong for 20 years. Euclid. Although at times I was well. Again, they were pushing me out of places that would make me well. They probably knew better than me what makes me well. Well, the information feels like it's reducing already. One good night's sleep and one touch by the Lord, or how the Pope's doing. So again, I'm reminded, because their spirits are here. Trans people are people too. So again, this is the thing in government. I guess it's government too. And again, the scripture speaks about it. When you're in government, you have to look at things neutrally. Now, Biden administration didn't look at it neutrally. You see the difference? I'm still speaking about supporting trans people, but I'm speaking about supporting them neutrally like we do everyone else. So again, Nancy Mace, she she is the magical shapeshifter, and so does Trump, so does Elon. But be careful because it's not going to be popular to bash trans people. It could be 2 years, but definitely not in 4 years. Could the Republican Party survive? I don't know. It's up to all of you. Not the way it's going. Now you have to watch the news articles and the polls and all this that they're posting because what they're doing, again, they're lulling you into a false sense of security. They're posting things from like a month ago and saying it's today. Well, I definitely could have been well 4 years ago. I just had to get somewhere nurturing. I don't know where that is, but believe it or not, I was trying to get to Sacramento. I deemed it maybe just too much of a move. Thank you, Larry. 2 years ago. I thought maybe it was too warm and all that, but it's probably what I needed. Right. I was looking at Las Vegas and Sacramento. It's probably where I needed to go. Maybe I could have found some massage too a little earlier. Well, if I heal, Sacramento's not out of the question at this point. Right. Again, California is liberal, conservative, and in between. I mean, obviously, the governor and all that. Yeah, I might have to pay too much in taxes. I don't know. Then again, I'm on disability, so probably not. And again, I won't have to worry about that if you fix my VA. I'd go in, audit the Persian Gulf. You'd find mine like first because it's my idea, and fix it. Take care of your Persian Gulf people. Somebody along the way dissed us and turned off the Persian Gulf presumption. Actually, I think I'll post that today. Well, again, nothing against what Elon's doing. He just, like the senators, he needs to do it a little differently. No, what they have a package. They have a publicity, and their publicity system works real good. Right. Now my left side's kind of calming down because even though I had it like relaxed yesterday, it was inflamed. So I couldn't tell what was going on. Now I can see the right side is inflamed from the neck all the way down to the pelvis area and then down into the leg. Oh, these people in government are evil. I mean, they're good-looking women, good-looking men, and they're evil as hell. Now, me, if you're a nice person, I talk to you. I crave you. Because I'm abused so bad all day long by these other people. So what they put in their heads is that I was stalking them somehow. But I wasn't stalking. I didn't even know that these people were working in the massage place when I went in, like to schedule an appointment. Right. I just knew I didn't want to do it over the phone. I do because of the wiretap and how they react to the information on the wiretap. I do things in person. Right. More so than maybe where I used to, again, because I got around real good. Right. So again, God set me on a course of healing, and you all set me on a course of unhealing. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't, like I say, when I left for Santa Fe in Arizona, I still hadn't healed to the level I healed in Santa Fe that winter. I mean, it was good for me to experience that cooler temperatures. Didn't seriously bother me beyond any certain level. And It just seemed to me it was too warm in Arizona. But again, I think over the years it probably would have been better for me to have stayed. All right, so I just experienced a little bit of inflammation in the left. I took my hand and I passed it over the muscle. Oh. So again, if I had received the appropriate massage, that should relax a little bit more. Again, everything's still inflamed. So anything that's inflamed would be quick to. Well, I used to use muscle relaxers just like to get past when the thing hit. But the last time I used them in Naples, they caused some crazy stuff. I was like waking up in the middle of the night, going and I don't know. Maybe if I tried them again, maybe wouldn't have worked. Would have worked. But again, the key is to get into massage, stay in massage, and then you don't need them. They knew what they were doing to end my health, and my money, and my marriage. They just need to end everything, and then say the person's making the wrong choices. The right butt cheek and left butt cheek are a little bit more level. Right. The right was like swollen, and the left was deflated before. And I can actually sit on a seat and be more comfortable. Trying to get something, and it looks like it's delayed. Trying to make me believe this electronic item is somehow compromised. Trying to figure this out here. I'm not sure. Well, if I can heal just a little bit more, then I'll be more comfortable in moving through whatever I'm going to do next. I mean, when you don't sleep, I think. Take a look at the Pope real quick here. Pope Francis was well enough to meet the Vatican Secretary of State to approve new decrees for possible saints and make some major governing decisions that suggest he is getting essential work done and looking ahead in critical condition with double pneumonia. It's grinding on, even though doctors have warned guarded prognosis. Yeah, theoretically, something is inflaming the sciatic nerve above the lumbar spine or causing it to be inflamed. But that's also causing some other inflammation and tense. Hell, you're supposed to be out of my life. It's just the bottom line. They don't get to sit there forever and play their game. Hmm. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to see if this mic is worth ordering again. I'm going to pull up this. Yeah, you are protecting a bunch. I'm telling you, just drop it and move on. Set the tone. Again, I don't mind those questions being asked because, yeah, I did tell you that they sit around doing nothing. But, the direction it was all going, it's kind of weird. Because you can't get to Elon's desired result with what he asked for. The input would not give you the desired output. It's technical. Too technical. So what you want to do again is you have to actually, well, what I was explaining is boutique artificial intelligence or hybrid. So in essence, it has actually no, it's artificial intelligence, but it's right. So what you do is you create psychological models in code for your best people that do something. Then you feed it into that. If you were to say, well, where should we cut in the FBI? You have this criminal investigation thing, which maybe has and plus other things. Because again, the best criminal investigator isn't necessarily the best employee. They do something well. So right, she was armbar on my back. It was killing me. She needed probably to massage my legs and my neck more than my back, which a lot of times it's in the back, but and then I would have probably came around. That's what I was looking for. I just couldn't get to it. I was so beat down after all the years they did to me, and got sick, and then I was in Amarillo, and I just couldn't get anywhere. And that one doctor was like, it's just like, yeah, I was talking to my brother yesterday. He's not dissing me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, he could be, but he's just on medication now. He's got the same thing I had. He's got a sinus infection now. So he went through a viral infection, wasn't COVID. Now he's had some, slight trouble with his back. I don't think he has what I had and have. Right. I keep telling him to get massage, and again, you can't do what you can't do. And he's like a multimillionaire, but he's very very frugal. I guess is it frugal? Thrifty, I guess. Not. No, I the left side's worked out. The right's definitely not. And again, it's not 100% yet. And again, I don't know if it can be 100% without surgery or something like that. They spend their life making people sick and making them poor. I mean, they're disgusting pieces of shit. And again, I don't know if it can be 100% without surgery or something like that. They spend their life making people sick and making them poor. I mean, they're disgusting pieces of shit. I guess that's fine. I don't know of any other microphone that would work better, to tell you the truth. And it's kind of where I am with it. Right. It's just, you paid, I paid $80 for lavaliers before, and they were sub what this microphone is. Yeah, these are like $16 for two. Right. What the hell is that? That's pretty crazy. Some of the prices are crazy. Guess they're old models and stuff. What we got here? Looks good. Need to check it out. Check it out. Yeah, hopefully I will heal, this inflammation and everything, and I'll get back to normal, and I can start the metaphysic stuff again. Again, what you're going to say is, and what the devil's advocate will say, and what the devil will say, well, you're telling me like the way you feel plays into God's decisions. Like that, yeah, of course, because you're the ones causing it. You say, if you weren't doing what you all were doing and are doing, then I'd have been well. Now, if you weren't causing it, no, I mean, I don't think it would. But again, it's like a catch-22. It's like a paradox. You can't get the one without the other. I'd be perfectly healthy if you didn't do anything like you did, especially even when I was in Santa Fe. I mean, at that point, I was a paying member of the community. I would frequent places and speak them up. I mean, even Ballast Enterprise, it doesn't make any sense. I was a big fan, and I was commending them for what they were doing because, we were still experiencing part of the downturn at that point. And I said, this is great because you're providing these hotel rooms that are these efficiencies for people that have had credit problems and things like that, they can come in here without a credit check and stay here as long as they pay their rent and mind their manners. And they try to insinuate that I didn't mind my manners, which is bullshit. And from what I could tell, there was already an agent in there. There was a guy moving around. He looked like an agent. Right. Thank you, Larry. Then I found the other cable for that guy with the guitar. So I gave the guitar to, but I couldn't. He went home, so I don't know. He might work a couple days a week, and then he might do like if you do deliveries or truck driving, you you spend 2 or 3 days and then you go home, maybe even 5 days, then you return. Because he said, when I said maybe help me move a few items around, he said, it's right up my alley. I work on my feet. Well, sometimes like companies will have their own delivery truck, right? Or they hire a delivery service, and what they do is they fill the truck up with deliveries, or even a rental truck. Sometimes they use rental trucks nowadays. Fill them up with deliveries, and then they have a route. And when they finish the route, then they go home. They might stay, overnight in a hotel or something. It's gonna be beautiful today. It's gonna be warm. I gotta get that epidural. That's nice. There's a lot of inflammation on that right side, so that's the way it was in the left yesterday, and it probably still in the right a little bit. See if I can work that out somehow. Well, releasing the muscle didn't work because there was something else. So once I took care of that something else, then it released itself. I couldn't get anywhere. I tried. Again, they're online willing me down. They're stalking me. So as soon as I look up, yeah, it could even include direct energy. I told you I can't test that part of it. Hey, Larry. Oh, no, I feel beautiful. I just wish my body was healed. Damn, 4 years ago, it would have been nice to have been able to attain this condition, to have a clear mind. Again, they know what you're doing. They do this to people over and over and over again. And once that person's health falls below a certain point, then they got them. And that's both physical and psychological. Again, one affects the other. They're sick people. They're the reason the planet will be destroyed. I'm out here. I'm just trying to get some sun. It's good for the body. I mean, there was no reason for them to do this. They did it the whole time. I mean, I go to a gym and a bunch of role players running around. I mean, come on. I go to a yoga place, a bunch of role players running around. I mean, like I said, when somebody like me comes in the community, cops say, "Hey, how you doing? If you need anything, they don't have to say, 'Hey, you're disabled.' We'll just say, we realize you might need some help here." But that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I would do. They actually, years ago, they said into the mind, they said, if the Marshal Service didn't do you, if the government didn't do you the way they did you, there's not a police department in the world that wouldn't hire you. You'd be a sheriff somewhere. Right. Nah, it's definitely, they're definitely not stalking me. I mean, at the level they were, if they are, I mean, they could have a camera in any one of these apartments. Right. He's stalking me with that. Correct. Again, I did something the other day or a couple days this week just to see cause it. Only because if they're there, they generally come out of the woodwork. Right. At that point, like cockroaches. So it's actually working the way. So it wasn't mold, and I actually this time I tested it. The mold one there. When I was in Tyler, those dangerous molds came up. So I thought possibly it was that mold. So that's why I went to Colorado. Well, to a certain degree, the orthotics are part of it, but you have to get your legs massaged to release your legs if you're in a bad condition, or the orthotics only work so well. Again, also I had other bodily spots. So again, if they hadn't interfered in my life, I'd have seen all these people years earlier. Again, I did get to the massage. Let me heal this child. Now she was going to be a victim of a sex crime if she's not already. There's her mom running after her. So is she misbehaving? Or are you trying to get her to school, I guess? No, I'd have married even a black woman. I don't mean to say it like that, but right. I had no requirements for the woman. And the Lord showed me one day. See, she's this woman right here. You think she's gorgeous, right? These like like the MAGA people think she's ugly because she's a foreigner. And so what they do to hide my goodness is try to tell everybody I'm Ted Bundy, but like 10 times worse. Because I'm going to do it to them and their kids at the same time. Right. I mean, it's not easy to investigate that stuff. And they start twisting your head. So that's how I know that they took out some of their own people. I allude to that captain that was on the task force. It makes no sense that a captain's on a sex crime task force and then he turns into the owner of the largest child sex catalog in the world of porn. Right. The devil, believe me, them, a lot of those FBI women are gorgeous, sexy. They project that thing and they can manipulate with it. They devils. And they might be mad because he's good at what he does, Some are just man haters, man. Again, a lot of those are gay, but not necessarily. Well, because they have the men that they like and then they hate all other men. That's why I brought up about Me Too. Like they're like certain men are sexual with them and they don't do the Me Too thing. I said, well, how's that work? You have all your friends with benefits running around having, and he's just having sex with you. And I allude to how some men, they date, but it's not really dating. It's like safe dating. You go with a girl for 6 months to a year. And then you make a reason for her to, get the boot. Like, they toy with them until they go off and go, oh, you're just such a horrible woman and you're gone. And then they go to the next one. Well, they already have the next one. Right. So it's not really dating. It's, dating generally means you date until you marry. I know it's changed, but right. Or until you become a significant other. Breathe, Larry. No, it's so weird. I'm freaked out. I'm really freaked out because my head is so chill. But I prayed to the Lord for this to happen. Hopefully it takes and I get better and better and better. Well, that's why people tell me not to get the surgery, right? Because nobody's like in this condition that I'm in. Right. As far as not getting rid of the symptoms, I explained to that before. I said, you have to, after you get the surgery, you have to get massage. Right. And actually, you should get the massage beforehand, see if it can fix it. No, it's very sad because I wouldn't be in this condition. I'd have had a full last 10 years very easily. Full and happy. And like I said, some of it's metaphysical because I can look through Monica Maurice's. Again, she works for the Lord, as messed up as her life is. But I can look through her, like we're on, not while we were on chat. We chatted a lot, I just keep tabs on her, and she kept me busy, because I was alone and all that. So I talked to her. But they trigger her, and I know that. But I could look through the screen, and I see all these women in Santa Fe, like in their 40s, 50s, and they're at the shelter, and they're again, I don't know whether they have a disease or not, because a lot of times that's what happens in their lives. So they can't get, most men won't get with them and all that. Right. But I'm sure it's not all of them. Right. And I'm thinking the whole time I was in Santa Fe, I didn't see any women like this. They used to play games like with me. There'll be a woman available, but if we started talking, they recruit her. And was this guy starting up again, or is he just doing air duct cleaner? I didn't read anything where he was going to clean our air ducts. With that game they play, like his license plate says 710 round RND. 410 shotgun round. That could cause somebody to commit suicide. So that's why you should never be allowed to do that plate game. Right. No, I'm thinking of veterans here. Well, I think if my right leg calms down a little bit, I'll feel a little better. I'm just hoping it's not too weak at that point. And it might actually pick up the left leg a little bit, believe it or not. No, my left leg felt stronger like 6 months ago, but that's because maybe it was just cramped up. Right, so it was more like a peg. Right. But then again, my right was probably more energized too. So see if I could chill it out. See if he's clean. I wonder if he's cleaning today. Oh, he's trying to get somewhere to clean out a vent. I know he was here before, I think. I guess they're working on partners. You looking at the dryer vent? Or he's looking for a specific apartment. I guess somebody's going to have him clean out some vents. I don't know, it's the guy right there. Maybe he's doing it. Maybe he heard me talking about it. The guy sits outside having somebody come in and clean his vents, I think. Right. But it came up negative on the dangerous mold. And I had it come up positive when I was in Tyler, Texas. That's why I moved on up. Actually, I went to Dallas first, right? And then I went to Colorado. Yeah, they were harassing me, and they shouldn't have. Well, I think anybody would react to people being in their dryer, right? Intentionally in their dryer. I think the scam was either the guy that was part of it, or that owned it was part of it, and he would say that nobody was in there, right? Or they had already hacked it. Right. Now, I don't, like I said, without the Lord, I don't know what to heal. The Lord has to tell me that there's something there on the right side. I mean, short of that, I'll just tell the woman to do a neck massage. There's a little bit. grab some of the arnica. There it is right there. It's like a subscapular, or not a subscapular, but sub muscle. There it goes. So someone has to they just rub it to elongate it, and they get the oxygen or the air, or the blood flowing back through it, and then sometimes it heals. Yeah, I was feeling it really tight on that right side. So here, the Lord's showing me that like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I was trying to get to this one person to do a neck massage. I couldn't get to it. I would have went this morning, but she's busy. And I was trying to get to her, I couldn't get to. I finally get to her. I thought it was her, but I made an appointment for someone else by accident. So again, it's their spells. I know this guy's going to clean something. I guess he's going inside, clean the guy's inside vents. I have a really nice filter, but the filter, for some reason, won't sit straight, so I got to use some masking tape and place it so it'll stay when it turns on and turns off. Guess it's that time of the year. Clean the vents.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up on some.
You got to follow up on some. Okay, so he's not cleaning the inner vents. He was here before. Now, I'd have been a healthy guy if they hadn't done this to me. They're very healthy. I mean, I probably had some back trouble, but not like I'm having and I've had. Right. Well, you don't know the condition of the legs until you release the back and the neck and all that, and then it takes some time to see how the body responds. Well, because the neurology might pick up and start rebuilding and reappropriating or reproportioning. No, I couldn't get to nothing. Couldn't get to anything. You're saying it's my mental illness. I mean, they're real time psychologically torturing me. I mean, come on. Evil such as that deserves death in their own standards. Again, I bring that up when I say that. 100%. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Your standards, all of you, that you put on everyone else, condemns all of you to hell. Well, I know you put standards on somebody, and that's how you do this. It's fake, but because when you leave the planet, it actually effectuates real. Like everything you've said in your life to condemn other people, all of you, is actually plays out real instead of the scam. I mean, obviously, people say stuff all day and they're actually guilty of it, right? Right. So, first things first, I have to get this all relaxed. Then once I get it relaxed, I have to stop using the other stuff, right? Like the magnesium oils and the relaxants, so the muscle can then have a healthy firmness. Right? Yeah, if I could have got to this in Amarillo, everything would have made sense. Would have figured everything out. Of course, if I'd have stayed the course with massage in Santa Fe, but I couldn't. I'm walking for an hour and a half. Get this weight down. That's part of it too. I need to put less weight on my legs. Like my legs right now, they're actually maneuverable. Before they were stiffer. Again, I never in my life did I allow that to happen. I was a person that stretched and all that. See, people were angry in that gym that I was stretching and getting healthy and going to the massage beds as they were angry that I was in massage therapy. So again, they're not supposed to have access like that. All right, so now this is all softened. Wait till I tell the doctor where it was coming from. Well, I'm very sad that you all did this in my life. Never happy just to let things be. Well, when it's all said and done, I might, put my stuff in storage up here and travel down to Texas just to see what it's like, because I might need to live someplace where it's warmer. Go down to San Antonio and help them with that case. Well, I'm still not, well enough to sit around or lay around during the day, that's for sure. But I'm just not as sick as I was yesterday, that's for sure. Oh. Inflammation in that right leg is picking up. It's they're reduced. Got out of my shoes and it went away. Because now, like as soon as I stepped out of my shoe, I tried to stretch my calf and it hit something like a pole. As soon as I stepped out of my shoes, and like another couple seconds, and then it disappeared. Theoretically, those inserts are not right. Yeah, I mean, there was no reason for this to happen. That's what they do, is they torture the person into ill health and then talk about how, oh, Mr. Fitness Guru, Mr. Healthy, huh? What do you know? Meanwhile, they're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to do it, to live $1 million lifestyle. I'm going to try these other shoes. Definitely a lot less. Oh, there it goes. I traded for my other shoes. I tried the ones. I'll just tell him that the ones I purchased from. Now it could be the shoes too, so I have to maybe try something with that. Now it's weird because when I step outside the apartment, I actually notice a little more tenseness. Let me go back in real quick. Like this is where I wanted to get it, so I would know for sure that the surgery would work. When I was trying to think through it. Right. But again, you know, I thought I had my mind about, man, I just head east and never stop. Have no idea why I didn't just keep going to my brother's after Colorado. Have no idea. I don't even think. I think I was just, if I remember correctly, I was just going to Oklahoma, but I got sidetracked. I didn't lost where I was. It was just to get, be able to afford some place for a little while. And of course, if I had gotten the massage, and who knows, what my health would have been back then had it not stayed cramped up for 4 years. Seemed like their epidural did nothing. When I was in Naples, Florida, if I remember, the epidural just, you did the epidural and everything went boom. That was it. Now I needed to get massage and stuff over time. Now this day would, yeah, if I'd have been allowed to stay in massage, this day would have never came like this. I don't think I'd live long enough for my body to have upgraded like this. You're allowed to take out everything that's healthy, everything that's well, because you're the danger. Mm. Truck's got a Bush Cheney '04 bumper sticker on it. No, I never thought that my back would ever relax like this on its own. And again, this probably isn't the finished product because, eventually it'll firm up a little bit. And my right side has still got something wrong with it, which could be inflammation from bearing all the weight. Now, there's the way it works generally is that the majority, yeah, I can feel the inflammation in the back, so it's probably that's the way it was yesterday in the left. So I have to figure out how to work that out of the right, which could make my legs too weak, but we'll see. I mean, it's like living in the Soviet Union, man. These people are nuts. They shouldn't exist. I don't have no idea who they exactly are. Again, it involved people that I worked with. When I was in the Marshal Service, I went to, during 9/11, I went to protect the headquarters after we protected the airports. So I was right next to the Pentagon at that point. And they guy told me, he said, in Arizona, this is what was happening to me, I think. There were a group of deputies that got in trouble because they just decided to quote unquote investigate a coworker. But I think it's a scam. You know, I don't think it's really that they're investigating a coworker. That's their scam. So they get into their coworker's life and spycraft, psyop it, and destroy it. Again, there were many off routes or off ramps to a better life for me, and many probably women that could have been part of my life, but they didn't allow. I mean, we're talking decades. These people are sicker than sick. So as far as Elon, I think the senators kind of hit the mark. He just needs to just slow down and be a little bit more responsible to the larger effort, not just some hype. He's trying to recreate that insanity that Malay is, but like I told him, we're not Argentina. It doesn't work that simple. I think it has Argentina has the gross domestic product of New Jersey. You have to remember, a lot of these nations are like our states. They're not even, really a nation. And there was a lot of conservative investment and conservative country government investment and billionaire millionaire investing in Argentina just to prop that up. And we still don't know how well they are. Well, to balance the budget and then to lose everything is BS. Just because you're a millionaire or a billionaire or a wealthy person, fool you. You wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for the hardworking people, because you can't do that job. You can't do it. It's not that you don't want to do it. You can't do it. You can't sit on a helicopter skid and climb onto a power line and fix the power line. You can't do it. You're nobody. That's an amazing feat that person does. What? You get propped up by government. You get picked because you're an asshole by some CEO to be an asshole, the next asshole CEO. I mean, come on. You're all propped up. They're my heroes, actually. Those guys that fix the wire, the power lines on top of the towers and other places. And then they took that culture into government and then started hiring government people while they were working for the government. Again, I don't think Elon's going to disrupt something like that. That might be the smoke and mirrors. Like hype over here, because over there is really where the deep state is, and that's an arm of the corporate world. Regular. Okay, so the right side is now relaxing a little bit more. But I still have some inflammation down in here. It's not completely relaxed. That's what I was trying to do the whole time. I just had no idea how to do it. Like when I was in Amarillo. I was trying to force it to break down, and I couldn't do it. It just kept tightening back up. If I could have got God's thought, I could have took my hand and softened my neck. I imagine that's what it was. Now, I may have still headed to the East Coast to get a fused spine, but would have been somewhere with some knowledge. Well, what has to happen now is I have to go through, because this happened, I have to go through a bunch of, I got to do the steroid treatment, and then I got to get a bunch of massage to see what I can fix. And even if I'm getting surgery, I shouldn't go in with a bunch of inflammation. No, when this thing tightened up, I even had inflammation down my arms and everything. But again, when it released, it like almost instantly disappeared.
Twice. You can hear it. He's got great flow. So I'm gonna go back to his dryer up and then move over to 11.
How you doing?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Gorgeous weather, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, better than what it has been.
Wish me luck. I got my procedure today to get some steroid shots, and hopefully
Oh, hell yeah, man.
it relaxes everything. I already got this side relaxed. I mean, it's God, man. Nothing else. I couldn't get this thing fixed for years, and all of a sudden I just start I get this thought. You can tell. And I just start massaging right here. My whole left side goes whoop. They used to sit there and try to break it down by hitting my back, and I did the same thing. It was up here that was triggering it. Body is crazy. But evil is crazier because that's what does it. When somebody hates on you, then you can't get the thoughts to keep yourself healthy. Crazy world. So it's all metaphysical, actually. Even though we see physical stuff happening, physical stuff is bound by the metaphysical. And the planets, that's why the planet's destroying itself. Evil took over. Like real evil, not just, there's criminal. Like when I woke up, I left the government, God said there's criminal and lawful, but then there's also good and evil. People that are breaking the law can't get past it because of evil people doing things to their life, and then that's where they end up. And they can't get their own mind.
Right. Hey, good, man.
My son, my 14-year-old, qualified for state his first freshman year, so we're leaving for Wichita. Oh yay! Thursday. So it was his wrestler's first time in state. My five-year-old who I wrestled him in 6U, he's going to state next week.
Well, that's good luck for you.
At least give him an idea.
Now see, his kids are healed. That's what that is. Right. And he's in great shape. He's got his own business. Right. His health will stay his whole life. But again, I was directly attacked by the deep state. I am probably the biggest deep state victim. I mean, Jonathan Luna, yeah, and Jonathan Nichols, yeah. Right. But I mean, as far as length of time, I don't know how long Paul stayed under the deep state execution before they killed him. That's really what that is. Deep state killed Jesus. Who they are. Killed Rabbi Akiva. Tried to kill Rabbi Shimon. Tried to kill Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Shimon's son. It was weird. I was talking to that guy about spiritual stuff. And the other guy came over and started talking that, and now he just chose it. So I was trying to wake him up. I didn't realize it, but because then Satan came in, Satan stands to, right? Because I was like touching my ear. He had no reaction. You touch your eye, your ear, sometimes there's a reaction when people are awake. Now they should have stayed away from me. This is obviously healable 4 years ago. That's they didn't want to get me. They didn't want me to get to that point. They've seen it before. Again, they do this to people. They know if I get to point A or point B that I heal. It would be point B and point C. Actually, I'm at point F. So I get A. If I get to point A, B, C, or D, I'll be doing better. And it said that if you got back to Philadelphia, you may have found a better life because you speak closer to their accent. Right. Sometimes I guess. So what it's saying is if I can get the right side to calm down, that I'll have a more even gait. I might still need the surgery, but life will return a little bit better. So the Lord is here with me, and I have no idea where he went. Thank you, Larry. No, the whole world's different again. Like I said to the Lord, I said, what happened to my head? I want that other world back. Hopefully it stays. So again, the Lord sent me a message. You know, if you strive and in danger of losing your life, you know, you'll gain your life. Which I think I really was there, but the idea of just getting past the blocks and taking those chances, I couldn't get to it. Again, it's a metaphysical. I just hope it calms down to the point I can sit in a chair. I want to do that so bad. It's been years before I was really comfortable, since I've been comfortable in a chair. I kind of want to lay down or stand up. I've been disabled for years. I told you that. You know, their shit's bullshit. Well, and again, they're healers at St. Luke's. Again, I knew to try to get to St. Luke's, but I couldn't. Like, go to St. Luke's, go to St. Luke's. And of course, you know, some of the clinics around here are closed down. Right. I don't know. I mean, because if this plays out, I might actually, my left might strengthen if I get a more neurological signal than I was receiving before. But again, you know, touch and go. No, if I could be part of a religious society, it would, you know, probably be nice. I just don't know. Again, I'm the guy to pray for people. So again, I could go to, what are they called? I'm supposed to call them. I maybe forget. I have to call, what is that community called? Not Grace. Well, I don't think I'll be renewing my lease. I'll be unless I was totally healthy, then I wouldn't care. Like, you know, if I had the health of 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I'd have moved in here, I'd have had a blast. I'd have found a woman. Right. Well, my attempts to reach out to different communities and people of color and things like that, you know, I didn't receive the same consideration. That's for sure. Thank you, Larry. Which doesn't make me a racist. I'm not going to be a racist again. I'm still not anti-immigrant. I'm pro-immigrant. I'm going to make that. We're going to make that system work. Now, Elon, if he stays focused, he wants to make it work too. The idea where we're honest about who we hire for these jobs. Again, Sheriff Ohio would point out that the employers were employing these people. That's why they're here. So he would do the sweeps and then try to charge the business owners. Of course, they try to get rid of them then. Well, you have people that are Republicans. Like even Trump Industries has probably immigrants working, you know, undocumented working for him somewhere. Just, you know, he may not know. Pay low enough, and that's all you get. Correct. Yeah, I had to be somewhat healthy last year, right? Because I was doing all this grass work and dirt work, but I wasn't like this. No, right? I don't know if I'll heal. We'll see. But I mean, it's an amazing one-day change. No, it wouldn't let me get anywhere, man. Believe me. Then I tried to have him come into my apartment, and I couldn't get to it. I got that one woman who could massage me. She wasn't strong enough. But I gave him like $150 just because, husband's, disabled worse than I am. But I thought that was a setup because she wanted me to get naked. Right. Both her and that gay guy in Amarillo wanted me. So it was very hard. Very that term is like not the right one, but everybody does this. When you see, it's weird when you speak. So that's why you'll hear me change. Because hard is generally something associated with genitalia, male genitalia. Right. So I try to do the other term, difficult. Because some people are offended by that. Like they get a weird thought in their mind because the deep state will put that there. So again, I don't do it because of me. I do it because of other people that get a little weirded out by terms that might have cross use. Thank you. They're out here getting ready to do their work. Oh, it's beautiful out here. It's going to actually get cooler. That's sad, but at least I'll have my steroid treatment. Yeah, this is probably something that happened each place I lived. Again, if they're stressing me out, then that's what causes it. Again, they were stressing me out in each one of the locations where I had breakdowns, like physical breakdowns of health. Yeah, so at this point, my $20 inserts beat the $800 inserts. We'll see what we can do. Again, it could be the shoe. Well, when I get the epidural, it might cause all that inflammation in the legs and back of legs and the derriere to minimize or go away. So, plus getting massages. So again, I'm reinvigorated by the massage. Believing the massage process could work to a certain degree. Okay, so my right side kind of stiffened up. Yeah, I mean, they could go in there, go bing, 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 and just have it released. Now, when I started this, it was just bouncing back. And again, that woman the other day probably noticed that it wouldn't stay released. But again, she didn't hit the neck. I was trying to get with the other woman and get the neck massage. I might restart up that deduction. We'll see. Well, when I was in Tyler, I went to the massage at a certain point. And I've been beating up my back for so long, and she was a little cautious in massaging me. But it kind of didn't do anything. I remember getting on my phone with my brother and telling him it didn't work. But I don't know. I don't know why I couldn't think, you need to do like 5 to 6 sessions of this and see if you can get it there. Like I told you, it wasn't from the gym. It was from what they were doing to me around that, which could cause the gym to harm you at that point, right? If your body's not operating at peak. It wants me to be like angry at people, like my neighbor. It's a woman and a guy, and it's like my wife and I. We spend a lot of time together. They seem like they just hang out with each other, and that's how they, live their life. And right, just young people, and they want me to be like angry at that. Like they want me to curse that, and people do. Again, even the people who curse me curse people like that because they're just, you don't deserve that kind of lie. Right. Well, the thing is, today it just released a little bit. So the healing for all that inflammation might take, quite a few days, maybe even a couple weeks, maybe even 4 weeks. Well, at this point, I don't see that I necessarily need the trigger point, but it may be something that still, like if I'm still at a sticking point. So what we might do is schedule it for 2 weeks and see how I feel, and then we could bump it to 4 weeks if he feels that that's appropriate. So I really feel blessed that they gave me an appointment. Now he may have had this appointment the whole time. They just have a system, I think, where you go in. I went on Friday. They make the appointment for the following week. I think I went on Friday. I can't remember what. Maybe Thursday. I can't remember. But I said, yes, we have an appointment for tomorrow. So again, that kind of stuff wasn't happening in my life. So again, you need to pay me to get me forward of this mess. Again, I suffered long enough for nothing, believe me. Now, who'd have thought? You just day in, day out working in the government, and they were shifting you and shifting the world around you every day to own it and to destroy you. I mean, we're talking like 2000, 1995, 2000. I mean, who would have thought? That's probably one of the first deep state locations in the country. I mean, like the full power, kill people and laugh. Now, it did come up that some of those people were corrupt. Now, I don't know if you'll find the corruption now, but they had a couple cases in Baltimore involving agents. See, that's why they do it. Like, why would they do that? That's why they do it. Because they're corrupt and they don't want anybody around that's not corrupt. Again, even if you don't, like, I don't think I'd ever investigate an agent for that. Like, I would ever, like, original mind. Like, when I was in the government, I think the DEA is taking money. Or whoever it was. I can't remember who it was. I think my coworkers are corrupt. Never would have thought of it. Not in a million years. Thank you, there. I mean, they had the hardest working guy for chicken feed that any agent in the world could want to have, right? As far as being a marshal. Right. I developed systems to protect their in custody witnesses. I mean, they were the happiest in custody witnesses in the world. Did the government promise you anything? No, but Mr. Moore sure take good care of us. And he led us to the Lord on top of it. 100%. Of course, you can't even kill me. No, like I said, Rick Guzman made a mistake. I fixed it. So again, I knew what to. I was the fixer. I was a fixer. It wasn't like I was doing anything to harm anybody. They hated me because I was a fixer. Like people probably cursed Rick Guzman like for 20 years just so he make that mistake, and I could run to the chief and go, "Round nose time, Guzman did this." But they kept me around for that reason. I was a fixer. Little girl screaming. She don't want to investigate a judicial threat, and that she's going to make phone calls if they force her to do it. That's extortion. She extorted the chief and the whole office in front of me. Now, back then, I couldn't think of it. I was like, yeah, chief, I'll do it. Right? So, like, in their mind, he's a brown noser. He's going to get promoted to inspector. I'm like, the way you treat me around here, you really believe I'm going to get promoted to inspector? 100%. So I knew my right side, like my lower lumbar, was tilted. So that left one that was being impinged was because my right side was up, but I couldn't get my right side down. And I still can't. It's still up a little bit. So again, I was all right. I knew how to fix this. I just couldn't get to the point of being fixed. I needed to stay in massage envy because generally their people have the techniques. But again, they took out the thing that I needed. Now I do feel a lot better today, and I thank the Lord for that. That's the only person that could have fixed this. Okay. I gotta wait till this afternoon for the procedure. I prefer afternoon because it's nice and warm, you know. Right, your body warms up. Oh, it's definitely a different day from when I went to that procedure, and Tyler, my head was spinning. I was so sick, right. And I'm still sick. But damn, yesterday I was that sick, but today the Lord be able to show me a few more things about healing my body. Like I can feel all my cranial tissues are definitely working and draining. I've healed so many people that don't even know I'm healing them. A guy just walked by, I just upped him and healed him. Or it drove by, should I say. Totally oblivious. His world's now going to change. They have to actually physically interfere in my life for my life not to manifest. Because I'm actually healed enough, right, that it would work. So that's what they do. I have no idea where this is going to end up. I definitely 4 years ago, I probably could have possibly, with what I'm seeing now, could have possibly healed without surgery. And I knew what I needed to do. I just couldn't get there. And then eventually I couldn't even get to massage. I can feel now that my neck's softer, but this has to soften. And all this here. But give me that money so I can get myself out of this mess. And then I can go somewhere and do the same work I was doing before. But at this point, you have to pay me. After that kind of loss. Right. Well, I think the senators, again, a lot of times I'm in not cahoots, I was saying cahoots. I'm in connection with the Senate inside. So just needs to get a little more serious about what he's doing and stop the hype. Again, the government's not made to fire and rehire. That's whatever, as far as X or Twitter. These are real people. Again, if you don't give a shit about people, then, No, what Trump did when he ran for office was say we all care about people. You're still trying to say it, but, it's not playing out. And what you're all doing is you're threatening people. In the hopes that they'll drop the narrative. And I'm not speaking about hardcore Democrats. You need to stop trying to impeach judges that are simply doing their job. A TRO. Understand something. You're going to point at the judges that aren't giving TROs, but going for they're going to go for the other order. it's not better. It's worse now. Right. They're being more careful, more methodical. They're going to put you so far under that you can't get back up by a simple appeal. I mean, in the news, they're lulling you in a false sense of security. Oh, you beat that one, buddy. You didn't beat it. He's just not going to do a TRO. Believe me, they talk to one another. And they said, don't do the TROs. Go for the preliminary injunction. Thank you, Larry. And then what they're going to do is going to say, well, again, they're going to eventually kill those pardons. Like if the Trump administration wants to investigate those people, they could get rid of those pardons. Now, I don't think you're going to do it because they want to use those pardons. But again, get away from it. It's not going to stand forever. Right, here's a needle. Or somebody's injecting something. Narcotic. Could be insulin, but. Right. The idea is to get the muscle all softened and, healing, and then I stop the heavy use of the magnesium oil. Right. And then it firms back up, so it could, be a healthy back to a certain degree. Now, I'm sure that it's absolutely planned with knowledge of what they were doing to my health. It's from a medical and therapeutic standpoint, like an anti-therapeutic, anti-medical. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Like anybody that's listening now knows what to do in their life if something goes wrong. Actually, it won't go wrong because now you know, right? So they keep me isolated, so I can't have the benefit of other people. Like if I had a wife, she'd have massaged me herself, and it never would have happened. Once she would have realized that I needed massage, like I said, I attended a massage school. And she showed me the techniques. I'd massage her. Right. Actually, probably cheaper for me to go to massage school, but I actually could have years ago. Again, the deep state was the key, and not having anybody around you to witness you. I get my mother to say anything; she's not a witness. Right? They could just think it. My mother would hate on me. They know it. I mean, that's they know they can do that. Let me see if I can sit in a chair at all. Again, if I could take, and again, my stomach, I couldn't for the longest drink hot foods because it would bother my stomach and all that. Again, it was probably part of this thing. It'd just be weird. It'd be too hot. Like, what? Now I can do it again. That's actually started a while ago. Once I started releasing my back.